Hello, everyone. I'm so excited you're here today and so excited for you to start the new journey. I um I know how hard it is to make that decision. I know how scary it might be, so you don't have to make a decision yet, right? But I want you to know that once you're ready to make that decision, that you will know how to get over the addiction and how to control it and how to get stronger every day. So I can tell you this, it's way easier to actually make a decision, stick to it, and not drink than drink. I know it sounds crazy right now, but then we drink. It's a totally like an extra job, like a full-time job, right? You have to be hiding it. You have to be acting normal during the day, but then at night, all you want to do is go into the darkness, just lock yourself up, and then drink and drink and drink, and then go to sleep, get up and suffer, and then get through the day again and do it again and again and again. And I don't know how bad your addiction is. Hopefully, it's not as bad as mine, but sometimes you end up drinking for a week or two straight and you can't get out of it without the help of medicine or anybody, or it's just everybody's different. So I want to congratulate you for being here, for actually taking a step, for acknowledging that you might need help. And I'm here to help, so you can always email me if you need to. I can answer any questions. It's gretakbooks@gmail.com. It's GRETAKAY books, BOOKS @gmail.com. Okay. So again, once you make a decision, that has to be a commitment. It has to be 100%. You can be, okay, I'm not drinking today, but I'm drinking tomorrow. You can't be playing that kind of game. So once you decide, the decision has to be very strong, and it has to be your decision. It has to be coming from your heart. Because if somebody's pushing you for it, like if your wife or, kids or anybody, really somebody who's trying to make you make that decision, that usually doesn't work. It's only you in your heart when you're ready. And you probably are. It's just you're scared because you don't know. You're scared of the unknown. You don't know how you're gonna not drink for so long, because you're probably used to this lifestyle of drinking and numbing everything. So I encourage you to try, right? You can always go back to drinking. That's easy. But I can promise you, once you start enjoying different life, so it's really, the decision is not just to stop drinking. The decision is to change your life, for a better. The decision is to choose you, right? Choose your health, choose your happiness, choose light over the dark, so you don't have to struggle every time. So you get stronger and happier and, wealthier, and all of the above. All the good things are going to start happening. And before you know, they're going to start appearing in your life. So the first step, as I said, there's 5 steps, right? They're way easier than drinking, and anybody can do it. You don't need any tools. If you want to get my book, get it. If you don't want to get the book, I'm going to go into every step. Again, as I said, I encourage you to do one lesson a week. I think it's a good pace, but everybody's different. If you want to just do them all, kind of find out, then you can go back and watch it anytime. Right? So the first and the most important step is a decision. Again, the decision has to be yours. The decision is a very strong decision. You got to decide. You got to, commit to it and never look back. I can promise you, after a while, you're not going to even imagine how you were able to do all these things, right? Because I cannot imagine how I did it. Honestly, I don't know how I got out of it, but I'm glad I'm here. I'm glad now I know I can help other people, and that's what I want to do. And that's what, makes me happy. And the people who read my book, the people who I talk to, they all quit drinking and they just live happy lives, So again, make that decision. And it's not a one-time decision. It can be, you probably said that before, where like, oh, I'm not going to drink. And then you just be like, oh, I'll have one drink, I'll have two, I'll have this, and I'll have this. You have to make a strong decision. and go over the steps and understand the steps, understand the process of how this whole, cycle works, right? And how not to get into it. And then you got to make that decision every day. So every time, right? And it doesn't matter where you are. You're at the store, you see alcohol, that's a decision for you. What decision are you going to make? You're going to get the bottle or you're not going to get a bottle, right? So it's not a one-time decision. And especially in the beginning, you have to be careful because those thoughts are going to come up, I would say often, right? Until every day you're going to get stronger. In all the dark side, evil stuff that's trying to get you back, they're still going to be strong because it's not enough time. But once you're getting stronger and stronger, like now for me, it's been 9 years. I don't even get those anymore. I don't even care if the alcohol just doesn't exist. It actually makes me sick. Even thinking about it or seeing it at the store just makes me sick. I don't want anything to do with it. I definitely don't want anything from my life that I had before. Now I'm very happy and life is easy. You just enjoy every moment. And I think that's very important. So the decision is not a one-time decision. You got to get up, thank God for another day, and make a decision not drinking, right? You don't drink. It doesn't matter if you're at the party. It doesn't matter if you're on a trip. It doesn't matter if somebody offered it to you. It doesn't matter. Nothing matters. The decision is always the same. And if you're struggling with a decision, I usually suggest thinking about the worst time of your drinking, right? Just think how bad it was. And most likely that's going to be enough for you to make a right decision and say no. And then if not, you got to think about pretty much choosing between life and death, right? Because we all know what's going to happen. We all choose not to think about it, but we know what's going to happen. You're going to die, right? It just depends. And I was in a hospital and the other lady was dying at age 32. That opened my eyes that just because I was 34 didn't mean that it's not going to happen to me. And I'm sure last years of drinking, I was always thinking, oh, these people are dying, but it's not going to be me. Right? So we have to be realistic. Obviously, you're going to die. And it's just when it's going to be last time, especially if you have those drinking patterns or when you don't drink and then drink for a week or two straight, you can easily die anytime, right? It could be so many things. And so you don't want that for sure. So you're pretty much choosing between life or death. You're choosing between health and sickness, because with drinking, you always feel sick. So every day, you just don't know how bad the next morning is going to be. So you pretty much wake up. Usually you drink to fall asleep, but thinking it's going to help you sleep. But about 4 or 5 in the morning, it starts waking you up just so you can feel the pain. So for me, I would usually just think how bad next morning is going to be. And it's always bad. It's just how bad it is today. Right? And obviously with years, it just makes you more sick. So it's choosing between health. And then when you stop drinking, all the good things start happening. And I don't know why or how. Obviously, I believe it's God, helping you because you get out of evil side and God starts helping you. So all these, let's say the business or work or people kind of appear, like all these different gifts. But the main thing is to kind of look around, right? Don't get depressed and say, oh my God, I can't drink. Now I'm the only one. I'm lonely. No, you need time. You need time to heal. So it's okay for you to just kind of isolate yourself in the beginning until you start realizing, start seeing, until it's safe. You might want to even stay home for a little bit and see, so you don't go to your usual places. Obviously, you want to be close to people that are supporting you and the ones that are there for you. So again, the decision, and I don't know if that's important to you. For me, it was important that when you make a decision to stop drinking, you're not only changing your life, you're actually changing lives for all of the kids and all the generations that are going to come after you. So you stop that pattern, right? Because if you have an alcohol addiction, most likely you had it in your family somewhere. It's not just appears, it's not just because you had a bad decision or stress at work and all of a sudden you're becoming alcoholic. Usually it's comes from previous lives, from karma, from all different things, but it's probably going through generations. And if you have it from both parents, it's just stronger. So for me, it's just knowing that I changed that for my future generations, that makes me very happy. Hope that's important for you. And then it's just decision to change your life. So in the beginning, again, it's going to be harder, but once you make a decision, you'll just see how everything starts changing. So right now, I want you to, the decision obviously is the most important, right? Without the decision, there's nothing. So until you make that strong decision, obviously you can see it, you can read it, you can listen to it, but nothing's going to change until you make a decision and say, okay. And I suggest, obviously, the sooner you make a decision, the better. The more health you're still going to have to enjoy your life and actually see. Some people, they unfortunately don't see this life, the life that I'm living right now. So they just struggle all their life with alcohol addiction and then they just die. So they didn't even have a chance to enjoy it or know what the life could have been, because they're always miserable, right? Because you're always miserable. Doesn't matter. You can say you're happy when you drink, but honestly, it's proven that alcohol has absolutely nothing good in it for people. Obviously, there's all these articles and stuff and advertising that say it helps your blood or heart or whichever. So honestly, there's proven that alcohol has absolutely nothing that's good for a person. So physically, you cannot crave alcohol. You think you crave alcohol, but you are not craving alcohol, just so you know. So your body sees alcohol as poison. So every time you drink, it already starts working on removing it. So your body's actually working very, very hard. When you think you're sleeping, it's working very hard to get rid of it. So that's a good thing to know. Obviously, I'll go through a couple of things several times that are very, very important, right? I just don't want to jump into a second step. So the first thing is obviously making up your mind. So if you already know you have a problem, it doesn't matter how big it is. I'm telling you, it's not going to get any better. So the sooner you make a decision, the more chances you have, right? So it's never going to get better. And it's never going to change. And there's no other way, right? The only way is to never have alcohol again. So it's might sound scary right now, but once I explain everything, it will make more sense, right? So right now, I want you to start thinking about it. Start thinking when you're going to be ready, right? If you're ready right now, do it right now, because we know after a month or so, you start feeling better, and then you're like, oh, it's okay, I can drink again, until you feel like bad again, right? So it's just a matter of time. It's a cycle. So once you have one drink, it's just a matter of time when you're going to end up in a bottom, which everybody's bottoms are different, right? Mine was in a hospital all the time. For others, it could be just laying in bed for a day. For others, it could be weekends or one day of heavy drinking, right? It doesn't matter what it is. The better it is, the more chances you have to have longer lives. So right now, I want you to think about it to see when you're going to be ready to make that decision. And then obviously write it down. So all you need is a piece of paper and write out a couple of things. Like write down 5 reasons why you want to quit drinking. And then also write down 5 reasons why you don't. So just kind of see where you're at and really think about it. Obviously, I want you doing it by yourself. I don't know if you have a spouse or anybody who's trying to help you with this. It's great. It's absolutely amazing to have someone supporting you. But all of these exercises is probably better to do by yourself. So you take a sheet of paper. It could be 5, at least 5, right? So the reasons why you want to stop and the reasons why you don't. And start thinking about it. So until next week, then next week we're gonna go to the second step, is trying to think why you're making that decision, why it is important for you, right? Why Do you want to stop? All these things are important. So maybe when you have a hard time or anything, you can look back and say, okay, these are the reasons I'm not drinking. I'm gonna stick to it, right? So the more you write, the better. But write it for yourself. Again, if you have any questions, email me or just think about it. Obviously, I'm not gonna make you do anything. These are just the tools. And the main reason for you is however you want to accept this, however you wanna use this, is up to you. Everybody's different, and the end result is just the main focus is for you to stop drinking, for you to understand how this alcohol addiction works and to know how to stop it. So one thing I think that's very important, and you're never gonna beat the addiction. You're never gonna get rid of the addiction. You're only gonna beat it, right? So it's always gonna be there. So you can't be cured. There's no medicine for it or anything. So you have to always know, you have to always be careful. It doesn't matter how many years have passed. If it's been 10 years, if it's been 10 days, it's the same thing. If you get yourself in a circle, you're gonna end up in the bottom again. And it's just gonna get worse and worse and worse and worse. And obviously we all know what happens next, right? So start thinking about if you really wanna change your life, the quality of life, change your family's life and future generations, you're at the right place. So I'll tell you exactly in the next step. I'll tell you how this whole cycle works, how not to get to it, and we'll get to step 2. Okay, enjoy your week. Thank you.